times, even though I'll tell them 1,000 times, and yet they still don't catch on. If you catch it the first time, you'll save me a lot of time from asking again. First of all, let's look at the easy. When you're given a proportion, for example, 2/3 equals what number over 24? The first thing when you make equal fractions you look for is to do what? I know you know this answer here, Gabby Behrens. Making equal fractions, we've always looked at doing what? 2/3 equals what number over 24?
I'm sorry, 16.
How do I know that? Because you do this. How do you go from 3 to 24? You multiply by 8. So you have to do the same exact thing to the top. 2 times 8 is 16. Okay? That is in the wonderful world of everything always seems to work out in math life. Well, that doesn't always happen. Sometimes you get something that looks like this. What if it's 2/3 equals what number over 10?
And you were no, you make them the same fraction. Make them
Negative. Okay. To which, when you come across something like this where you can't go 3 times what is 10, you have to do what we call in math, do cross products. Okay, and it's based under this one simple little philosophy. If you have any equal fractions, let's say we go back to our 2/3 equals 16 over 24. If you have any equal fractions, the one thing you'll notice is that the two diagonals, when you multiply them together, are equal. In other words, 3 times 16 is 48, and 2 times 24 is 48. Okay? Based on that, you can solve this, because we'll write an equation. And what it is this. Okay? You take this times this, 3 times a number we don't know, has to equal whatever 2 times 10 is. Okay, and let me tell you, it's not going to be a nice answer. You're going to get some sort of a fraction or a decimal or whatever they want, but that's the reason it doesn't work out. Okay, so 3 times what number equals 20? How do I solve that? You divide by 3, you divide by 3, so you end up with what? 6 2/3, or whatever the answer is. That is what the letter N equals. It doesn't work out nicely, but in the higher levels of math, a lot of things don't. If you wanted to put 6.6 repeater, whatever you wanted to put for that, that would be fine. But if they don't work out, and you can't get them to work out like this, you're forced to resort to doing this. And it's not that hard, okay, but you do need to follow the steps. It's called, back in the days we used to call it the means equals the extremes, which I don't know what it meant, but that's what we did. Cross multiply this across, multiply that across, they're equal. Now, of course, you're saying, hey, that was exciting, let's try another one. Yeah, let's try one that doesn't work out so well.
Oh no.
Yeah, m over 15 equals, m over 15 equals, I'm sorry, m over 10. M over 10 equals 15 over 25. Now, we're going to do this 2 different ways here. Okay, you look at this, and you go, okay, well, I don't know, there's nothing times 10 that'll give you 25, well there is, but it would be kind of goofy or whatever. Or 25 times 10. So you're going to solve this like we just did. And I always like to do the one that has the letter first. So I'm going to do 25 times what number equals 10 times 15. In which case you end up with 25m equals 150. How do I solve that, Charlie? 25 times what number equals 150? How do I get the letter M by itself? Alan Bowman? Right. This is multiplying, so you divide by 25. How many quarters in a buck and a half? 10 equals 6. Now this one worked out, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, and there's a good reason why it did. let me go back to this original thing. One other method and thing that you could do, doing the cross product thing should really be your last result or last resort. Okay? When you see this, in this form right here, okay, the first thing after you look at say, okay, 10 times 25 or whatever doesn't work, the next thing you should look at is to see if quite possibly this fraction here that's given could not be reduced. Can I reduce 15 over 25?
Yeah.
Yeah, what number goes into both of them? Divide them both by 5, you end up with 3 over 5. And if you use the new fraction, which you're allowed to, then you can go, oh, 5 times 2 is 10, and 3 times 2 is 6. Okay. But again, not always is that going to work. And if it doesn't work, if you don't do it the first way and you can't reduce the fractions, then you have to do it like this. Okay, cross products always work just because that's the way it works. Isn't that a nice thing? Don't you think that makes incredible amount of sense?
Yes, sure.
How about one last one? I'm just going to blindly put this over. Let's say 7 over 12 equals 13 over what number? I'll give you a second to do that. And again, just leave it, don't reinvent the wheel there, just leave it in fraction form. I'll be good with that. Just leave an answer there in fraction form. Josh, you doing this or no? Okay. I just wondered why we kind of moving along. Well, you know what, the hero be there later. You can always worry about the here, it's just if you don't understand the math, that makes it the best chance of trying to get some sort of. Sam, what'd you end up with?
22 and 2/7.
Let's check and see here. So you did 7m equals 12 times 13. And 13 times 12 is 156. So 7 times what number is 156? Divide by 7, divide by 7. 22 and what? 2 sevens. Again, not a pretty number, but it is what it is. Perfect. All right, another blank piece